As I told you in my earlier Prophet X video, I'm in the middle of making a custom patch set for the Prophet X to be used in my live sets later this year. And since I use many classic synths on my records, I'm sampling these synths again now to be able to reproduce all the sounds faithfully inside the Prophet X. So this day I'm sampling the Jupiter 8 for some signature sounds like strings, ARP sounds, some basses, and some brass sounds. And this Jupiter 8 here has a MIDI kit retrofitted, and that comes in handy as I'm using SampleRobot to multi-sample each of the synths through MIDI. So I'm sending a MIDI signal out of the SampleRobot program, and it records the audio signal back. SampleRobot can export into many different formats, so maybe I'll make these patches available commercially later if there's enough interest for it. As I've worked with the Prophet X for many months now, I've come to realize more and more that this is a modern-day emulator. I'm totally in love with this machine, and I'm actually thinking of getting another one as well. I like it so much. So here I've imported all the multi-samples from my sampling sessions, and I put them into different folders, categories, so I can pick and choose whatever I want into those two totally independent sample engines in the Prophet X. I can also run everything through analog filters and amps, and the Prophet X even has two internal oscillators as well, so I can really make the sounds big and thick if I want to. So let's check out some of the patches I've made so far. Everything is sampled by myself from classic synths. So here we have a string sound from the Jupiter 8 and an organ sound from the D50, and all the effects are coming from the Prophet X itself. Here's the organ sound in isolation. A very David Foster-esque kind of trick is to blend in a bell-type sound into a classic piano or guitar for that matter, to get a sort of a ringy feel to the higher register. Some of these multi-samples have been sampled with a lot of velocity layers, so I can have some room for playing with different intensity as I'm doing this live, as you heard in this patch, which will be heard more in the song Midnight Drive, of course. I can tell you right now why the Prophet X didn't sell as much as Sequential had hoped for, and why it sort of flopped, and why it is so underrated. And the main reason for that, and maybe the only reason, is that people are lazy. People don't want to sample themselves anymore because sampling takes a lot of time. But if you put in the time, you put in the hours, the Prophet X will amply reward you. And as I started, I'll end. The Prophet X is really the modern-day Emulator 2. It can do so much in a very flexible, fast and easy way. It's incredibly powerful, and it sounds so good. It doesn't pretend to be anything else than what it is. And unlike the Waldorf Quantum, for instance, the Prophet X is really the machine to get if you're an old-school musician like me and you like to make music and not lab experiments. As always, I'm Espen Kraft. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers!